another edition of Sexy Sundays, where we answer your questions on sex, relationship, spirituality, and
sex.
So we missed last week, but here we are. Times have been full.
Oh my goodness, they have been really full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really cold in our house.
If you haven't noticed, we both are kind of...
We're like, can you tell how cold we are right now?
I think I'm going to cover my ears, too.
So we got a few questions 2 weeks ago that we want to answer, obviously. You guys rock for your...
questions. And we have a wild cat in the house as well.
That was she just
whenever she goes poo, she starts running in circles everywhere. But
they probably
that's
don't really
probably not really what we want to get into here.
She just came out of the litter box and she's like, ding, 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 ding. Just goes to show when you let shit go, energy rises.
The energy goes up. Yes. Happiness is here. So I guess we're gonna start with you can start with the question.
Well, actually, talking about letting shit go, you got a question on my channel.
Oh, great!
Because we post these videos on both of our channels, and so on my channel, I got a comment to you, Jason.
Yes.
From somebody saying, so basically, she wants to know, Jason, why do you advocate not having orgasm? As a 46-year-old woman married to a 50-year-old man for 16 years now and having hormonal changes, both of us, despite our high level of physical fitness, we thought that the more we have sex and orgasm, the better for keeping our libido high and sexual response healthy. So your thoughts and comments are appreciated. Thank you.
There's nothing wrong with orgasming. First of all, so the first comment about this is that if that's what you want to do, if that's bringing you joy and that's your journey, great. Why I'm a proponent of not is I also add when I'm saying that is if you're interested in evolving consciously, rising your energy from your lower chakras, which a lot of sex is done from the lower chakras. My sense is from this question that you're actually speaking of, the sexual energy also from the heart chakra. But when you're working with deepening into subtler levels and using your sexual energy to rise your awareness into your head centers, into deeper states of meditation and presence, orgasm is one of the tools to... I told you. I think she just had an orgasm.
She's hilarious right now.
So anyway, so if we are doing more conscious movement with sexual energy, and it's not to say not to orgasm, but to limit the amount of times that you're doing that, it has a benefit as far as being one tool to assist one in the rising of their kundalini energy. And if you're not working on that, if that's not part of your interest and not part of your dedication, then have at it. Orgasm all day.
Yeah.
But even then, this has been even a tool of, it is for a man especially, there is a tendency of a loss of energy that goes with this. One of my dear friends...
I was just thinking of that.
Yeah.
Are you going to tell
I'm gonna. One of my dear friends actually consumes his orgasm and is a strong proponent of that.
Oh, no, I was going to say, that's probably let that land for people right now.
So we'll get back to that. If you have questions about that, I may go into that another time.
Yeah. But I remember a friend of yours saying that he was very frustrated because he felt like every time he was having sex and letting go of his orgasm, he was losing like the equivalent of 7 steaks. He's vegetarian, but 7 steaks and 8 potatoes, and it's just a lot of energy.
There's a Zen book on deer exercises that goes into specifically that. I have one of my videos is called Masturbation Meditation, which is really about how to maintain that energy inside. Yeah. And the Zen, one of the Zen sects speaks of it being one male orgasm is a loss of 2 steaks, like a dozen eggs or 2 dozen eggs, 2 heads of kale, etc. Yeah. It's a lot of energy. So So one of my friends, like I was just saying, actually consumes his orgasm as part of his practice and is a big proponent of that.
Yeah. So this is
a lot of information.
Yeah. And these are things that no one talks about.
Yeah.
So it feels good to open up this space
it's all
because
good.
Everyone has different ways of doing things. So also, do you want to talk about orgasming? Are you saying that orgasming without ejaculation is
there's so many layers to this. The ideal state is, or a ideal state. I don't even want to say one is ideal, one is right, one is wrong. It's for this cultivation. There is a benefit of actually not having a external orgasm. There are ways to cultivate that inside, and I think that is on my masturbation meditation video of one way to do that. If that energy is going out, and then there's a lot of people who will say that if it's already going to not stop it. So, there's going to be different rules of thumb. But I think just to wrap this up is if you can come to the point of that and hold and back off and start to cultivate a different way of making love, where there's more intention, not about ejaculation, but about sharing the love and expressing the love. There's tons of tantric books on this.
And heart opening.
Yeah. And using that. And then there's nothing wrong with a great roll in the hay and just going for that as well. That's great too. So there's a balance, but a cultivation of that. Yeah. So I think that sense is more than enough. So you can ask more questions on that if you have.
A lot of men probably don't know that they can ejaculate without, or they can orgasm without actually. It's like
there's ways to do it inside, and there's ways to
goes inside.
Yeah, I know. And you can consume it if you're up for that game, and if you're or there's just like. Making love. Have you ever made love without the intention of orgasm, without the goal of orgasm? This is really where we're going into the yogic places of just moving and expressing and sharing without that, and really intending to circulate the energy with the two of you, or according to our next question, the three of you.
Oh yeah, that's the next question.
So we can go there.
Somebody asked us. So she says, can you share with us your views on desiring other people and or open relationships? I think it could be an interesting video. Thank you, Karine, for your question.
Go ahead.
Oh, great. I personally, for me, I think it's just like anything. You know what's best for you. For me personally, really having an exclusive relationship is in alignment with my ability to, and my vision and clarity and intention to open my heart rather than functioning at the lower chakras and just like getting by in life and living out of like sexual drive and passion and purpose and all that. It's really coming up to flowering in consciousness, But I have found that even in the days of my youth where I was dating, let's say non-exclusively and just dating, I noticed that it was a really easy way for me to not open my heart and to continue avoiding my own healing and my own really stepping into like the greatest level of love and my highest vision, which was sacred partnership, And so in being with multiple people, in my experience and energetically, it just seems like a no-brainer to note on this. It just it kind of confuses the lines of it's like I find that if you're sleeping with one person and that person's sleeping with someone else, you're basically sleeping with like 15 people, depending on who that person's sleeping with, and then that person and that person. Personally, I think it's a good idea to just ask yourself the question, if you're not looking for a partnership and you don't want to deepen in that, then your scenario would be totally different. It's kind of hard for me to answer this from any other perspective than my own, But
our perspective, here's the thing. and this is both Veronica and I's perspective, I believe, is there's not a right and a wrong in this.
In anything.
Ultimately,
It's like,
when we transcend duality, there is no right and wrong. There is just a choice that is going to court the light, and there's a choice that's going to court denseness or a denserness, right?
Yeah.
It's not right or wrong, good or bad, because who am I to judge? Who is she to judge?
Yeah.
Who are you to judge?
Yeah.
Even judging our own self and our own actions. We're not in that, we're really not to be in the position of judgment. But we do it all the time. So to put it, actually this really curtails into the next question as well, but in short for me as well, it's similar to what Veronica just answered. That can be really fun and enticing, and when you're playing with passion and just exploring, and you're at an age in your life or a time in your life that may be that need to like just really get the yayas out.
Yeah, get all that stuff out of your system.
Play it. If it's coming up, then you may need to play it. And then, but it's, there's a danger of playing in that, then you may have to go through that cycle a lot. But there's no right and wrongs, and it's perfect. So if you're going to do it, then, and you're thinking about it all the time and you're dreaming about it, then explore it, and then maybe you'll discover your own way, what your own truth is.
And I want to answer, like the beginning of your question, Karine, you were saying, can you share with us your views on desiring other people? So personally, if I just see desire as a great doorway into not necessarily sleeping with another person, but really beginning to track who you are desiring, who you're deeply attracted to. Also, who are you like repelled against? Because anytime there's that strong charge, whether it's positive attraction, delicious, or like repelled, disgusted, stay away from me, typically there's a part of the self that's buried deep in the shadow that we're seeing in that other person, but we're rejecting in ourselves.
And you have a video on that.
I have really a whole video on that, so I'll connect his video on the masturbation meditation and and my video on sexual attraction below this one.
Great. So this actually curtails, this will actually answer this question a little bit more in another avenue. I don't know who posed this question, so forgive me for not mentioning your name. I'm such the guy rude of not even pulling up the question, but as my memory serves me, it was a question about how do chords work, how do energetic chords work, and especially in relationship and sexual relationships. So to simply address this, if you come out of the womb, when you come out of the womb, you will come out of the womb of the mother, of your mother, and you'll likely have cords connected to her immediately. And I'm not talking the umbilical cord, I'm talking even after that cord's cut, there's still cords going to be connected energetically between you and mom and likely you and dad, because that's who you're relying on, and it's like your life is dependent upon them. And so it's actually pretty natural and normal to have energetic cords connected to your mom and dad as you're a child. And then at a certain point, if a parent is very conscious in their child rearing, there's a point where they see that the child, they're ready to step into their own beingness and not have the mom and dad know everything that they're doing and watching over around every corner and around the shoulder always. Right. So there is a point, and I'm not going to say when that is, because it's different for each person, but there is a time for mom and dad and the child to actually make that separation. That's not a cutting of relationship, that's a cutting of cords. So usually cords then we connect cords. Not just in family. Why family? You'll know why if you have cords connected to your mom, dad, sister, brother, is if they know exactly what to do, what to say to you to trigger the heck out of you. If they know exactly what to do and what to say, and they're triggering the hell out of you whenever they want, you know you have cords connected. It's highly likely, because all they're doing is they're just yanking on that cord.
And a lot of time unconsciously, like not even intentionally.
Of course, it's primarily unconsciously that these cords are connected. But there's many different ways cords can be connected. They can be connected without you even knowing it, and most of the time that's the case. But directing it now to relationship, when you make love with a person, what happens is sorry,
It's okay.
is you connect a cord, and I'm just giving you a point right here. So this cord is now connected after you've made love, and possibly even after kissing, depending on how you relate. Now, you sleep with this person, and then you walk away from this person. You never see them again, but there's still likely a cord connected, so they're
not there, but the cord is there.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So then the cord is connected. So you have to do some conscious energy work.
Holy crap! I mean, imagine all the cords.
Right. Imagine how many cords you may have connected right now.
A lot of cutting.
So a cutting. There is a scissors around here. Will you grab that pair of scissors?
Yes.
So when you have that cord there, and you've actually slept with somebody, then that cord's connected.
You need to cut that shit.
You need to cut it. So go ahead and cut it, baby.
It's gonna fling
That's
me.
all right. Go ahead.
Woo!
It's gonna hurt a little bit. It's going to shock a little bit. And there's going to be a repulsion, and they're going to feel it. If you've cut it, they're going to feel it, and they're going to go, I need to call Veronica right now.
Yeah, now. Like,
what the hell is going on with her? All of a sudden, I'm thinking about Veronica.
Yeah, it's amazing how that happens.
So the cutting of the cord is not just the slicing. It's also the work around it. It's being very clear with your boundaries and your field and your energy of how are you clinging on to this person with your thoughts, with your energy field, with the way your actions, with your words, etc. So if you're still pining for that person, holding on to that person, there's cords connected, likely. Or you're even after you've cut them, you can reconnect them right away. Same thing in relationship. It's the difference between riding two bicycles together in relationship or riding like a ball of twine where everything gets so confused you don't know which one is your piece of twine and which one is theirs.
Yeah. It's like the Khalil Gibran quote where he talks about in partnership, make sure to stand far enough apart so that you serve as pillars holding this structure of home together. Like share bread, share wine, but have your own, sort of thing. It's beautiful.
So it's cutting the cords
every day too, like every night before bed. Not just sexual, like intimate cords with people, but just cords, the people you work with. I just imagine every cord connected to me is just being cleared away, and I am a sovereign being, and everything else just falls away, and love remains, but cords are dissolved.
Cords are a way of connecting that is a little codependent, exactly. And what we're doing is if we're really truly standing in our own, those cords they won't remain. They can't remain in that field.
Exactly.
So it's really coming back and working on yourself. But these are tools to, sometimes they latch on. A hook gets caught on, and somebody's really latching onto us. So then it's our opportunity to create really clear, strong boundaries. Release those cords and release them and really step into our power.
And some of those cords, all complete with this, are really deep and thick and go back a long way, and it may take some healing. It may take a lot of grief and tears to really release that.
But it's essential, and it's empowering,
it's
and
cleansing.
It's such a gift, and it's just imagine releasing all of those sex partners from your past and your family. How much lighter would you be? Holy moly! I mean, you wouldn't need another workshop for another dozen years.
Ever. And then you get together with your sacred partner and you guys make love, and it's like instead of just the second chakra, you just rise the energy up to the heart and let go and stop all the doing and trying to orgasm. Just be, and freaking amazing things happen. Like miracles.
Halo.
And so
halo.
it is.
Yes.
I think that's a good.
That's plenty. Video. This is plenty of an answer. If you have more questions on these or whatever, we're here to share on a weekly basis. So many blessings. Namaste to you.
We love you guys.
Lots and lots of love.
Send us your questions.
Yeah.
And